There's no way Marjorie Taylor Green is not insider trading. There's no way that Marjorie Taylor Green is not insider trading. This lady is literally better than Warren Buffett. She knows when to get out of the market. She knows when to get back in the market. And maybe she's just, having the luck of the draw. Maybe 2025 is just her year. I have no idea, but it seems like there's something going on here. And given her proximity to Congress, to the Senate, and to politics, and the Trump administration, I can only conclude that she is getting inside information, and that's how she's able to jump in and out of things so quickly at just the right time. Now, what am I talking about? Marjorie Taylor Greene is a Republican congresswoman, and it seems like every time there's major news about to affect the rest of America, the rest of Americans, she is always just ahead of that news, just a little teeny bit, in order to make the right trade into so many different companies with vast amounts of money. She seems to only make money while everybody else has to suffer the fluctuation of the markets. Right before Trump announced the tariffs on April 2nd, which he called Liberation Day, she was able to sell out all of her stocks and put her money into bonds. He announces Liberation Day, she's safe. Just like she slid home at the base in baseball or something. She was safe. So you got to ask yourself, how does she keep doing this? And honestly, the answer seems pretty straightforward. She's a Republican. She's next to Trump. She's next to that party. And she knows what's coming down the pipeline. And normally, anybody else would be investigated. Anybody else we have to look at them with the rock stink eye or something to say, yo, how are you doing this? Either you need to tell me your secret or I'm turning you over to the police. But because Congress is allowed to trade and is allowed to basically do insider trading when they have all the inside information already of what's going to affect the public, they just seem to get away with it. But she's just doing this egregiously. Like, there's no way that she's not doing insider trading. It's no way. So I want to talk about this article real quick. It's not the main point that I was trying to get to, but we're going to go over this briefly just to give you a little bit of backstory so you're at where I'm at. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, Republican of Georgia, bought between $21,000 and $315,000 worth of stock right before President Trump announced that he would temporarily pause sweeping tariffs targeting dozens of specific countries, which led to the stock market jumping in value. If you're in the market, you remember that. Trump announced the tariffs on Liberation Day. Everything started plummeting from that time basically until the next week. Everybody was talking about losing money. And of course, Trump, he's privy to this news. He's the president. He knows what's going on with the country. He knows that the wealthiest people in the world not only own stock, but they have public companies that trade on the stock market. I'm talking about Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, all of these type of people. I'm not going to name everybody that was at his inauguration sitting behind him, but those are just some of the people. He knows that their companies lose value and they're losing a lot of their net worth. So what does he do? He put a 90-day pause on the tariffs, but right before he announced that, Marjorie Taylor Greene had the opportunity to go and buy stock. Now, you could say, oh, well, it was just a coincidence. Trump told everybody through a tweet to go ahead and buy the stock. Okay, I'll give you that one. But she just seems to know what to do right before it's time to take action. That same day, Greene, one of Trump's closest allies in Congress, bought between $10,000 and $150,000 worth of stock in companies such as Adobe, Apple, Nvidia, Palantir, and Cummins. I don't know what stock that is. The day before, on April 8th, Greene had just purchased another $11,000 to $165,000 of stock in Amazon, FedEx, JP Morgan, Chase, Lululemon, Nike, Qualcomm, Tesla, and other companies. She also sold between $50,000 and $100,000 worth of U.S. Treasury bills. So we know that she went into those Treasury bills at the time or right before he announced the Liberation Day tariffs. I'm telling you, this lady, she just has impeccable timing. I need to get on what she's on. Between her and Nancy Pelosi, they got it. They're better than Buffett. I just need to stop reading all of his books. Just do away with his entire strategy. The value investing strategy is not working. What they're doing is working. It's producing results. And I want some of them. I'll be a millionaire by tomorrow if I just follow just one of their trades. If they just post one on X and I follow it, I'm going to be rich by tomorrow. So I was kind of familiar with all of these trades that she was doing because they kept coming out back to back to back to back. And I'm like, man, this lady seems to be right on it. Like, she knows what's going on. And then as I'm scrolling on Twitter today, I follow this account called Pelosi Tracker that basically they watch every stock that Nancy Pelosi does trades in and out of, because she basically is doing the same thing. So this is not like me shitting on Republicans or shitting on Democrats. I'm just a person in society that's invested in the market looking at other people win with information that I'm not privy to. So today I'm on the account Pelosi Tracker, and they retweet some new information that I thought was pretty interesting. It says, "This is pretty wild. Marjorie Taylor Green bought stock in Palantir on April 8th, which we just discussed. On April 17th, a $30 million deal between Palantir and ICE was announced. Greene sits on the House Committee of Homeland Security. ICE is under the Department of Homeland Security. The stock has risen 48% in the 3 weeks since her purchase." I'm telling you guys, she is better than Buffett. She knows what's going on. I am an investor in Palantir, and I can tell you it's been falling for the past 3 months ever since the inauguration. And she could just be getting lucky. That is absolutely a thing that could be happening. But if it looks like a dog, smells like a dog, and barks like a dog, it's got to be a dog. She's insider trading. Those are my thoughts. If you like the video, subscribe to me back here for the next conversation. If you have something to say, let the world know. This is the place for discourse. Till next time. Peace.